Hey guys, this is Josh Farley back with another video. And in this video, I actually want to go over and talk about the fan that I actually use under my T-Mobile 5G home internet gateway. I've actually made other videos about the T-Mobile 5G home internet. I have those on my channel. And I go over a bunch of different stuff like speed tests and I also have some other videos about like the fans and stuff and problems I've experienced and stuff along the way. So if you want to check those videos out, they're on my channel. But this video is actually going to be talking about the fan and the built-in USB-C port that's actually on the T-Mobile 5G home internet gateway itself. So there's a USB-C port on the back of this back here. I can't really go around it all the way, but there's a USB-C port on the back of that, and there's actually two of them. One is for the power for the gateway itself, and the other is for like a fan or whatever you want to use it for. Maybe like a backup battery pack or something you could, maybe hook up to it. But what I've noticed is if I use that USB-C port for my fan, because it has a switch right here, if you can see. I can, turn it from low to high to off to medium, all that kind of good stuff. But what I've noticed is when the gateway reboots itself, when it does a factory update or a update, not factory update, a firmware update. So the gateway will reboot itself like at night. And then it'll do a factory, yeah, I keep saying factory update. I'm not talking about phones here. I'm talking about the gateway. A firmware update, is basically what I'm trying to say. When it does a firmware update for the gateway itself, it reboots, and then what happens is it turns off the fan. And then I have to come up here and I have to manually, turn the fan back on. So what I actually did was, instead of, worrying about doing that all the time, I actually, did some, easy research, and I just, I actually plugged it into an extension cord over there. This is actually plugged in to the extension cord that goes down there. There's actually an outlet that actually goes behind this shelf up here. I'm not going to actually really go over there because I have a mess of an attic up here, and I don't feel like, going around. There's a door over there that I can, access it. I go in that way, and I can access it. But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to show you guys from here. But it's like a power brick. It's got a USB-C, a USB port on it. It actually has two of them, but I like Anker products, so I figured that I would use one of them up here because they're very reliable. And I don't really use this for much because I have a bunch of other Anker power bricks, but it's just a small Anker power brick, and I have it plugged into a USB, into an extension cord that runs down there, as you can see, and around the back of the bookshelf here, or the shelf. And then that keeps the fan going, without having to worry about, when the device reboots for its updates. I don't have to worry about the fan being turned off. And another thing I actually did, I'm not going to go around there and actually show you guys it. Another thing I did with the gateway itself, if you can see right here, that's a smart plug. I actually have that connected to this fan because in the summertime I use this fan. I not only use the fan, underneath of the gateway itself over there, but I also use this tower fan to help keep it cool up here because it does get pretty hot up here in the attic because we don't actually have any, like circulation or anything up here other than the windows. We have one window there. We have another window over there. And then we do have another window back there, if you can see that. So I do open those windows when it's not winter time, but it's winter time right now. And I might even be able to get away with not running that fan underneath of the gateway, but it is actually 60 degrees up here, as you can see right there on the thermometer. But I mean, that's not really that, hot or anything. I mean, that's not any, cause for concern. But I've noticed, if I don't have this fan going in the summertime, and I don't have that fan going underneath of there, that the gateway can get, pretty hot, or there's a risk that it can get hot. But by doing that, opening the windows and putting that fan on in the summer, and having the fan underneath the gateway itself does actually help with the speeds, reliability of it, and stuff like that. So it definitely, is worth, investing, getting a fan. I keep the fan on all the time. I have a fan actually downstairs underneath of my Google Nest Wi-Fi Pro 6E, just for, help with breathability and stuff, and, just to help keep it a little bit cooler, since the one downstairs is the main Wi-Fi router, the main Google Wi-Fi router, Google Nest Wi-Fi, not Google Wi-Fi. They've done away with that. But I mean, yeah, that's basically the video, guys. Like I said, I just wanted to let you guys know about this. At first I thought it was the port acting up on the back. I thought it was the USB-C port that went. But when I plugged it back in, I've noticed that it, that it would start. And then I noticed, like the next morning or whatever, I would come up here, or, come up here every once in a while and check on it. And, it would just, be annoying. I would have to constantly turn it back on after a software update, or a firmware update, whatever you want to call it. And, that just got on my nerves. So I definitely recommend, if you put a fan underneath of it, I definitely recommend putting a fan underneath of it, because like I said, it helps with the reliability. But if you're going to do that, I definitely recommend using a power brick, and a name brand one. I would definitely use a name brand one like Anchor or something. They're not that expensive. And then just plug it into that, and if you need an extension cord, you can just run it through that, with that. But I also, yeah, I mean, I just, think that's a better way, for doing that. I just think that it's, a lot better, doing it that way, because, like I said, I don't know if the USB Type C port is faulty on mine, because it didn't actually used to do that. It actually started doing that most recently. It may be a firmware update or something, or a software update or something. Maybe they, changed it to where it, only puts out a certain amount of power or something like that. So you never know, with stuff like that, because companies, they do these random, firmware updates, and, you never know, what you're going to get with them. So, but anyway, yeah, that's definitely the way to do it. I definitely recommend doing it that way. Like I said, it's working for me, so it's not that big of a deal, that I can't use that port. It's not like, it's the end of the world or anything. That's why they make, power bricks and stuff for fans and everything to be plugged into cell phones, all that kind of stuff. So it's really not that big of a deal. But if you guys watch this video, let me know down in the comments if you guys have had any problems with hooking anything up, into the back of the T-Mobile home internet gateway, T-Mobile 5G home internet gateway itself. Let me know if you guys have been having any issues with that. That way I would know, it's actually my, gateway messing up, or it's, everybody else's as well. Because I find it funny, that it just, randomly started doing that. So I'm, hoping that it's not something to do with the port, with the USB-C port itself. But even if it is, like I said, I have a backup way around it. I'm not really that worried about it, but I just wanted to let you guys know about this. If you do want to put a fan, for this, that just be aware that it most recently, for me anyway, has started, turning off the fan and not turning it back on after it reboots. So that's, definitely, like I said, it's just a pain, to deal with that. So I'd rather, just keep it hooked up how I have it. But anyway, yeah, guys, like I said, just wanted to get this video out there. And if you guys like this video, please like and subscribe. And until next time, guys.